Okay, in this video I'm just going to show you how you can export all individual clips from a sequence in Adobe Premiere Pro. And obviously this goes against the typical way that we'd work in an editing suite, where we'd build up an edit and export everything as one edited piece. But this can be really useful for sort of a different variety of things. In this instance, I've just got some drone shots and they're going off to a client who basically wants to just put them on social media. So I build up my own edit and I can work on that. But before I do it, I just give them the sort of tidied up clips, and then they can go off and do what they want with those kind of clips. And what we'll do is we'll quickly run through, standard way we'd do it. We'd go to export media, and then you can see the only options we've got here are for sort of range. We can go entire source, in and out, work area, or custom, which doesn't really work because it's just exporting the whole thing as sort of one export. So that's not going to work for what we want. So what we need to do in this case is we come up to File, and then we'll come right down to Project Manager. And under Project Manager, what you'll find is by default, yours will be checked like this, and you'll essentially just have it so it's collect files and copy to a new location with your sequence checked. And what you actually want to do is jump into consolidate and transcode. So if you click on that, nothing will happen yet. You just want the sequence checked, make sure your sequence is checked up there. And if we come onto here, we can just, by checking sequence, by the way, it's just making sure that you'll actually get the cut clips. And I'll go down, I'd select format as QuickTime, and I just use the ProRes 422, but obviously you can pick whatever you want. Under the destination path, you can decide where you want it. By default, it's going to just go under the wherever the Premiere file's saved. And under here, you've got exclude unused clips. So clips that don't get dragged into the timeline, for me, generally are unusable clips that I don't actually want in the project. So I'll just keep that checked. And, the ones that are on the timeline are the ones that get exported. This is selected by default, include handles 30 frames. And essentially, that just adds some frames either side of the video. I've already cut it. I don't want that added, so I just remove that. You can edit the amount of frames if you do want it. It's not something I use. If you've got images in the sequence, you can check that to convert those image files into a sequence. And these bits are just about, the file name matching and bits like that. I just keep all of this the same. So once you've done that, if you hit OK, essentially, sometimes it will say to you that you might need to resave the file, which is fine. If you want, you can have, a second Premiere file for this, or just resave it as consolidate and transcode. You can always switch it back if you want to. And what's happening right now, it's essentially exporting all of those files out from the timeline. So you want to kind of do this process just at the end when you're finished, really. But the thing is, you can go back and you can do this as many times as you like, and I'll quickly show you in here. So what you can kind of see is this is my project file, and then you can see we've got this transcode drone shots, and I've already done it once, so this is the second time I'm transcoding these, and you can see it's created a new folder. So you can see all the files are there. This one's transcoding right now, so you can see it's actually doing the files as we speak. So I've got I've specifically chosen certain types of files, so I can kind of tell you what works and what doesn't, because there are caveats to this. It's not perfect, but for me it is quite a workable solution, and there's a couple of little bits that I kind of need to do just to sort of finish it, because it doesn't get 100% of the way there, but it does quite a lot. So what we'll do is, once it's transcoded, so you can see here it's exported 8 different clips. If we click on them, you can kind of see there's a few clips there that they'll work in, they're fine, so they can just quite easily be sent off to my client whilst I carry on doing bits. But what you'll see is I've actually got more than 8 clips in the timeline. And I've kind of purposefully done that so you can kind of see what's going on. So this clip here, 654, if we go over it, you can see I've done this kind of like horrendous white balance shift on it to make it orange essentially. So just so you can plainly see what's going on. And this is just using Lumetri color. But when we come to this, you'll see in the one we've just exported, so 654, that's this one here, and you can see it's just exported as it would be as an original clip. So Lumetri color is not burnt into the clip. Same with one of these other ones, I put warp stabilizer on it. I won't show you both clips, you know what a stabilized and non-stabilized clip looks like. I was flying the drone just a little bit too quick and it was windy, and you know, it didn't come out quite how I wanted it. So this clip, what I'll have to do is I'll stabilize it and then I'll just do it the old-fashioned kind of, you know, in and out point and then just go to export it as I normally would. But for the other clips, they'll come out fine. Again, with this one, I done that one again. I just done like an adjustment layer just to show you that doesn't happen. And on this one, I just really oversaturated it with an adjustment layer just to kind of show you that also having separate adjustment layers won't work. It's just the clip, just trimmed down essentially. So yeah, and this one on the end, what I did was I duplicated it from another clip. Again, that won't work. It won't take a duplicate of a clip. Not even if you rename it, it just, that won't work. So yeah, you have to kind of be a bit mindful that it's kind of one clip, essentially unedited, apart from the fact that you've clipped it to how you want it to be. And that's about it really. You know, it's it can be very useful in certain situations. Like I say, I use it quite a lot just to send social clips off to clients and whatever else. But yeah, it's it can be quite a useful little thing to do. That like I say, I do sometimes have to go back, and if you want to grade things or you want to stabilize bits and pieces, you might have to shoot out the odd clip here and there as a separate thing. But it's useful to know the options there. So if you found this video helpful, please give it a like. If you've got any questions or anything, feel free to leave them in the comments. If you want to see more Premiere Pro tutorials, check out the playlist that's popping up at the end of this video, and please subscribe.